All right, fellas, we back. We back, people. We back on the Male Table Talk. We will be discussing a lot of things today. Hopefully, we give y'all some great content. We give y'all some laughs, and we give y'all some informative subjects that we're gonna talk about today, should I say? So I'm gonna start to my right, and then we're gonna introduce ourselves, and then we're gonna kick it with our trainer, our health guru, Mr. Marv Tony.
Well, he just said, my name is Marvin Tony. I think this is what, my third time on?
Hell yeah.
Third time on. It's a pleasure. Come chop it up with the guys.
Brother Fatim Muhammad, third time on as well, and I think this is a great platform for us to have this discussion and keep it real about some of the issues that we men, how we look and feel about things. So I'm glad to be here and ready to chop it up.
Vic White, I'm amongst four distinguished guests here from Florence, working Florence. This is my fourth time here, and happy to be here.
Sammy Davis, Mr. Sammy, the third time on, and today is my happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday. Yeah, this is John. How you do? This is my fourth time, I believe.
Yep.
I'm blessed to be here. I'm privileged to be such great men in the company. So, I'm just blessed to be here.
So we're gonna kick it off with Marv, man. What you got for us today, Marv?
Man, what I got? What you got?
Spotlight on you, my brother.
You gonna put it on me.
Let's go.
I guess like the whole concept of the show started maybe after the first show we did.
Yeah, after the very first one.
We were just standing in the parking lot, just talking about male stuff, and like the topic came up about health issues, and like we really didn't even get to touch on it like in the first show we did, but me and John, Vic, we all said like we should do a whole show about it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Stuff that guys go through, like during the health. So that's how we got here. So today I would say like there's a lot of different topics when you're dealing with health. It's emotional, spiritual, physical, and social.
Yeah.
And I feel like as men, as black men, like we don't open up enough to each other about like what stuff that we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's what we'll try to do today. So I want to start with spiritual. So I would say we all check in, scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel spiritually? Like spiritual means like your belief system, your core values, stuff like that. So from what I start with myself, 1 to 10, I feel like I'm an 8. I'm real good.
For me, I feel about an 8 as well.
Well, I'm about a 5 on that, but to be honest with you, when we was talking about spiritual health, I mean, I have my beliefs. In a sense, I'm not gonna say my morals would change, but my decision making would change. So I think if I was a 10, because see, I'm AME, but I will, with the right woman come around, I will switch religions if need be to make my house a happy home. Now I felt you say so. I mean, breathe real, dog. But for a man to switch religions, you have to be somebody special. But that's something that I'm willing to do as well.
When it comes to the spiritual thing, I'm probably a solid 8. I have my beliefs, but then I also have my doubts. So that's why I'm an 8 instead of a 10.
I'm honestly can say I think I stand on a 10. I'm strong in my beliefs. And with standing strong in your beliefs, sometimes you have to let people go, men and women, to stand on what you stand on. I'm very strong on what I believe. Everybody can't go to that next level with you. Everybody can't pray with you. You can't pray for everybody. Sometimes you just got to let them go and fall by the wayside or whatever, but I stand strong on my beliefs.
Can I just jump in here real quick? Because when you draw out the spiritual thing, and I'm kind of glad that Vic went where he went about the AME, is that for me, everybody may look at it different. I keep religion and spirituality different. I don't look at them as the same. They can be one of the same, but they're not always necessarily the same, because a lot of people can be spiritual and don't go to church. They don't have to have a denomination. They don't mean that they don't believe in a higher source or pay homage. So I don't look at, because I feel a lot of times when we look at this point of view, we put ourselves in a box. But I think spiritually, we all have a connection to the creator, God, whatever you may want to call it at the end of the day. So for me, I can't judge for everybody else. I just look at spirituality and religion as two different and separate things.
That's a good point. Like, so when I said spiritual, like I didn't mean like a certain type of religion.
Right.
Like most like your moral compass, your character, like your core beliefs. You know what I mean? Like if your core beliefs are your religion, you can lean on that. But like everybody has different religions.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I'm not as strong when it comes to that with John, because I've been proven wrong in certain situations. So I feel like I can't, in my opinion, I can't be a 10 or a strong 8 is because I don't know everything. And I have been wrong based on what I stood on, for 10, 20, 30 years. I'm 42 and I'm still learning that there are some things that I was taught wrong as a child. Everybody's entitled to whatever it is that they want to associate themselves with. And who am I to say that they wrong? Because in a sense, in my opinion, that's wrong for me judging them on how they want to wrong. So that's why I say I'm like a 5. I can kind of go either way when it comes to that. But I do believe in God, and that's a solid 10 in my book with me.
But when you look at men's health, and you started with something that is not as tangible. When I use the word tangible, when you look at men's health, and let's just stick with the spirituality or spiritual, as you mentioned, that a lot of things that we can look at from a physical point of view, when you talk about the physical aspect, we can look at that, we can check one another, we can question one another. But when you started where you did, it's a good spot. When you talk about spirituality, who checks us? We have to be our own person evaluator on spirituality to see where we at in a sense of a mindset. Who judges when it comes down to spirituality? As we talk about men's health, to see where our psyche is and how we are out there and how we are related with others as we're relating with ourselves. So that's very interesting. How do we check ourselves? Because we have to have self-evaluation when we deal with spirituality, don't we?
I really don't think, when you're saying you checking yourselves, to me, your morals and your beliefs are the checks and the balances. Okay. In my opinion, you starting off. So my mother taught me that if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. But 2023, you not supposed to do that. That's where it's like, okay, what's right and what's wrong when it comes to that. What they say, spare the rod, spoil the child. But in a sense, I don't beat on my kids. So it's like I can go either way with that. In our community that I've seen, a child do something wrong, parents would beat the brakes off of their kids, and they wouldn't, in a sense, not the kids know, well, how do I correct my behavior in order for me not to get that beating again? Only thing they know is if I keep doing this, I'm gonna get beat. But I don't know how to correct what I'm doing wrong. You beating your child for a math test and shit like that. But does little Johnny still know what 2 + 2 is? He don't. He just know 2 + 2. If I get it wrong, I'm gonna get my tail cut. But he don't understand that 2 things come together to make 4. So that's when I'm like, when it comes to my beliefs, like I said, or spirituality, I'm either way.
But wouldn't that be more of a mental aspect when you talk about looking at that becomes more of a mental thing. That's mental growth, isn't it? I mean, spirituality and the mental aspect, to me, that's more mental than spirituality. I may be wrong, just my opinion.
Well,
Go ahead, John.
well, I was just gonna say, and to follow up, my mama when she used to whoop my backside, I know why she
Y'all
did
been there.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all
I
been
know
there.
why. I'm just saying in my house, how I grew up. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about nobody else and how they raised their kids. When old Liza went and got the switch
Yeah.
or a belt, her choice of mass destruction, I knew she told me why she was going to do it, or either before or either after. You know, I know why she did it. Whether if I lied about something or whatever, she told me why she was going to do it. So it was embedded in my head. You know what I'm saying? But it's so funny you say that. We raise kids different in this age that we're in. You know, we see it every day. Yeah, we grew up in the era where you show out, you go out. You know what I'm saying? In the grocery store or whatever. Back in the days, Extra Drugs, Refco, whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? You going out. But now we this time we're in now, the children and us are different. And let's go ahead and say this, as men, we don't have to do too much chastising the kids because they know when daddy walk in the house or daddy walk in the room, oh, it comes down to a halt. You know, the kids kind of, oh, daddy home. They see the truck pull up in the yard or the car pull up in the yard. Hey, all that calm down real quick. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So, you know, we do things different than mom and daddy back then. But things they have done, yes, it has. I can say some of us, I ain't gonna say all, I can't speak for every man. it probably has messed our head up in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a prime example. I'll share this. I never forget, and I don't want to talk too much. I want to give everybody a chance to say their piece. I came home with the little school proof. You know, in elementary school, you get the little proof of picture.
Yeah.
And I had my mama is the most realest woman I ever met in my life. You might not like it, but she gonna tell you how she feel. She's looked at it, the proof picture, and she looked at me. You sure don't take no good picture, boy. That's her exact word. Hey, I was in elementary, but guess what? You know what it did? I really ain't no picture dude.
But see, I'm gonna tell you this. When I asked you, and I'm gonna share this.
Mhm.
When I ask all these guys for pictures,
Mm-hmm.
everybody will send me one, but you two.
Yeah.
Y'all are the only. Well, Mr. Sammy just tell me to go find one, but these are the only two. Now this dude here takes pictures all the time.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You do. You in a bunch of pictures, but
Say
then
that, man. Say I'm in a bunch
you
of
in a bunch of pictures. I say that, but you don't smile. I can say that. But then
you know I don't.
You don't, and I'm like,
I don't.
Why? And now I'm thinking this is why you don't.
I
do
really
that.
don't. I'm serious. And guess what? You ain't the only one said that. I done had people. John, you know what? I went to your profile. I went through your, whatchamacallit.
You ain't gonna find the pictures.
You ain't gonna find no pictures of me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be going back to 2022 or something, and then back to 21. Cause I don't take pictures like that. You know, so mama, like she bit me. Pictures,
but I'm gonna say this, bro. Like somebody like looking at you. That ain't me.
That's true.
But somebody do. So
I feel you.
Like, man, don't take that and basically I'm saying, take that and run with it.
Yeah.
Somebody like looking at you.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
so take a picture, bro.
Yeah. I might take one after I leave here. But hey,
what you got, man?
I was waiting to see what Mr. Sammy was going to jump in or not.
Nah, but the subject that we were just talking about, the spiritual thing, and then we went to discipline and we went to religion. So I'm gonna go back to the discipline part. I was raised by my grandfather. And so at a very early age, I started telling my grandfather when I was 8. So from 8 on, I never got physically, disciplined to punish. He was a stern man, but he talked to me, and I was a smart little fellow too. So when he said something, I listened to him. And then when I was raising my kids, my wife did way more discipline for the kids than I did. But she would tell them, of course, I worked at second shift, she worked at first shift. Mm-hmm. If you did this, you did that, I'm going to tell your daddy when you get home. So they tell me these days now they can still hear the car coming down the street. So, I didn't have to do a whole lot of physically punishing my kids.
But how much does that have effect on us? Because I went through the same thing. I mean, I ain't go through that switch. My mom's tried that switch thing I'm a city guy. She tried that when we came down here, and she said, "Go get a switch." I came out and kept on going to her family member's house. I ain't playing that. But my mother whipped my backside. She didn't play. She put whips on my backside. And like you said, with my father, I straightened right up. When my father come home, like he hit that door, I straightened right up. But as we get older, as Victor said, we get older, we get better. And we look back at the good things that our parents did. And some of the things that were passed on to them wasn't the greatest. They wasn't.
No.
And we have to look at that and be honest with ourselves and say, where was the line of discipline and where was the line of abuse? And so when I raise my girls, they're not boys. So I realized that, yeah, I still will discipline you. I will put you on punishment and I will cut some backside if need be. But I balanced it a little bit better. But how does that play into our mental and our upbringing, into when you talk about our health, how does that play into our health and especially our mental health?
So I feel like the generation now amongst our children is that slave mentality is starting to go away because our grandmothers and great grandmothers was a product of slavery, if you think about it. So when they did something wrong, you got beat. And it kept going until it had to stop somewhere. So my children, I got 4, they're never going to get cumulatively enough beatings to even catch what I got probably in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you don't hit what you love. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that whole discipline and I don't want my kids to think it's okay to get hit if you do something wrong. There are consequences. And I'm not saying that however anybody raise their child is how they raise their child, but I don't like stuff like that.
Right.
We looking at our child. What about our woman? A lot of us, I came up and I saw my parents fight. I saw my father put his hand on my mom, and I see my mom go upside my father's face. So we talking about discipline of our children, but some of us have taken that discipline and passed it on to our relationship and going upside our woman's head, or a woman going upside our head.
Now I ain't went that far.
Let
me say this. Before my daddy passed away 2 years ago, my mom and daddy, they were married for almost 41, 42 years before a divorce. I'm sharing this seriously for the probably first time ever. I've stood in between them about to go at it. Now, was my daddy perfect? No. Was my mama perfect? No. But some things you see, you want to better me. John want to do better himself. You know what I'm saying? It's some avenues you just don't want to take. I will debate a woman, but before I get to the point I got to strike a woman, man, we done. You know what I'm saying? When she even get me to the balling point, we done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If she ruffle my feather and get me out of character, and it's hard at this point in my life, it's actually hard to make me mad. You really got to rub me the wrong way to make me mad. So at this point, for a woman to get me there, you know what? We done. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to jail.
Well, I'll say this. Let me start with the parents and the discipline. Like me and my brothers, like we got beat. It wasn't like abuse. It was like kind of like what Mr. Sammy said. Like my dad worked, my mom was home with us, so it was like, okay, you do this. Okay, I'm gonna tell your father when you get home. So he just carried out the punishment. You know what I'm saying? Whatever mom had down, like he had to come and carry out the punishment. And like at the time, we kids, so we looking at it as we getting beaten. You know what I mean? But as I got older, all the lessons that he taught through the beatings or the punishment or whatever, they make perfect sense now. They taught me discipline. You know what I mean? Like consequences. So stuff like that. So like I ain't gonna say beat your kids. Like some kids need some type of punishment. Because like you can look around at these kids these days now. You know what I mean? Like they don't have respect for adults.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that started at home. If you don't respect your mother or your father at home, you're not gonna respect anybody out here in the street. You know what I mean? And y'all see that all the time. Yeah, with this younger generation. Like, as far as being females, like that's just a total. Like, I ain't gonna say I ain't never sure.
Well, let me say this because we had a show about this. Ladies, if you hit me, I will knock your shit loose. But as far as domestic violence, no, I ain't doing that. But just keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, I feel like it's a difference between a man that beat his woman and a man that defended himself.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah,
there's a big difference.
I agree now. Now I can walk away from a lot. Even from a grown man, I some things I just don't follow up. You know, it's like pointless to me. You know, now I ain't taking no licks for man or woman. I ain't taking no licks. Man, I'm too old to be getting hit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all follow like social media back here, like maybe a year before last. You saw a real big thing of. I want to get off topic of women spitting on men. You know, now take it how you want to take it. If you a female and you spit on me, I'm a dog drag the hell out your ass. I don't care who mammy you is, who Annie you is, sister. You get drugged. You spit on me because that's nasty. That's disgusting. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You can go ahead and say what you want to about John. That's disgusting, man, for real. I mean, but other than that, I ain't no perfect dude, but like I'm with Marvin, I ain't gonna say I might, I ain't shook her hair for a time or two. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real, bro.
I'm gonna comment on that. I always say I would never hit a woman, but when John brought the thing up about a woman spitting on you, now if a woman spit on me, just never hit a woman. I'm gonna go out there.
Yeah,
because I don't think a man can stand for someone to spit on them when not actually doing something.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Maybe not. I don't know if you can physically hit them, but you're going to explain them. You're going to do something.
Oh, she getting some dirt off her back. I'm going to scoop the shit out of her.
She's going to drown. She's going to drown.
I might not punch her, but boo, I'm going to scoop the shit out of her, boo.
I'm a spirit like Roman Reigns. You don't think it's
I'm glad I have to say this today because I already said this before. Don't. So I taught my daughters, don't put your hand on nobody.
No,
if you do expect to get hit back.
Let me ask you a question, and let's shift it for a minute, if y'all don't mind. As a man, each individual man, are you or do you do anything? What do you do to preserve or protect your mental and physical? What are you doing for yourself to keep yourself healthy and mentally and physically? Seriously, I mean, are you doing anything or are you going to start doing anything? I'm just curious,
I'll take that right there, John.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm going to start with the mental part. With me, I always been like a low-key guy. Always like some people say from 1 to 10, I'm always in there at a 5. I ain't going to never get low and never get too high. So mentally, you're always in a good little spot. Because it ain't never as bad as you think it is. And it ain't as good as you think it is either. It's somewhere in between there. So as long as you're there, you're all right. On the physical part, I used to be a little gym person and stuff back in the day. Need to get back there, but I'm not there yet. But then again, I do a lot of physical outside work in the summertime. So wintertime, I normally work out some, but summertime, I ain't been in the gym in a minute now.
Yeah.
Okay. So since this is right on the topic of men's health, I look back where I was in my 40s and I was telling Marv, I was 298, 300 pounds, man. Take my blood pressure in the morning, 144/96. Blood sugar high. Going down the road, not exercising. I mean, I'm playing softball, but that ain't no real physical exercise and working out. And I'm looking at the age that my parents died at, 61. So this falls right into the topic of men's health. I was like, when do I check this? When do I check this? So I had to get a hold of that. I I checked my blood pressure today. First of all, I ain't nowhere near no damn 298 no more. My blood pressure, I checked this morning, 126/74. You know, my blood sugar is much better, but I do deal with hypertension and I'm diabetic number 2. I'm being transparent. We said we're going to be transparent here today.
Yeah.
So I deal with that. So you have to eat better.
Mhm.
Been in a relationship for a long time and hit that bump. And I realized after a while, stress from work, stress from a relationship, you got to look out for your own mental stability. So if it causes you to say, I have to separate from this environment, you have to know when to throw that towel in. It's not easy now. Don't let me sit up here and talk about it, make it easy. It's not easy. But you got to look out for yourself, self-preservation, because no one is going to look out for you like yourself until you wind up in the hospital and you done laid up and had a heart attack or a stroke and pray that you make it back from that. A lot of us, and you see a lot of people dying younger now.
That's true.
They're not healthy. They don't take care of themselves. So I'm glad you brought that up. We got to look out for ourselves, and you got to realize the signs and take charge of your life. Don't put it off what you can do today for tomorrow.
Well, I'll start with the mental aspect of it, like, because I feel like the mental health is extremely important. Okay, prime example. Vic called me one night. It was about 10:30. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
10:30 at night. Vic don't usually call me on no work, not at 10:30. So now I know something wrong.
Mhm.
I answered the phone. Like, I ain't gonna say what we talked about,
Right.
but he was dealing with the issue.
Okay.
And at the end, he said, I just needed a man advice. So I feel like we need to do more of that. Men. We need to talk to each other like when we have a problem.
Yeah.
We need to talk to each other, like, even if it's embarrassing. Like, some stuff Vic might not want to talk to me about,
Mm-hmm.
but he may be more comfortable talking to John or somebody in his family.
I get it.
So you should be able to go to somebody to be able to vent or to get it off your chest mentally, because you don't want to just hold it.
That's true.
And with the physical part, a lot of people see me. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. So most of the time when people think about they want to go to the gym to work out, the first thing they feel like it's for is looks. Like, the looks are a byproduct
Right.
of the work that you put in.
Preach on.
Like, my thing is, I want to be healthy. That was my main thing why I started going to the gym as much and as hard as I did, was healthy. Because I go to the doctor, I'm what, 28, 29 years old, and the doctor tell me I got high blood pressure. He said, because my parents had it. He said, like, one of my 3 brothers, like, one of us was gonna have it. It was just gonna happen. So it just happened to be me. And he was like, the first thing you need to do is you need to lose about 20 pounds. And if anybody ever known me, like, I never been like big, you know what I mean? So like I was real muscular, and I really wasn't doing as much cardio as I should. So I had to change my workout. I had to change my eating habits. Because with the high blood pressure, they put you on medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if y'all know. With the blood pressure medicine, you get side effects.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So with the side effects, it's with erectile dysfunction.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you don't want to be in a relationship. You know, erectile dysfunction. I'm just keep it real. I'm just keep it 100 with you. You know what I mean? So, and it will play a major part in your relationship, because like when I first got on medication, you know what I mean? Like, my whole sex drive was gone. Like, I didn't want to have sex. So like, honestly, I was avoiding it.
Jesus.
Like, I'm not even going to bed at the hospital on the couch. Like, just because like I didn't want to be out. Like, she want to have sex and then I can't have sex. Like, that's embarrassing as a man. Like, I don't know if y'all ever been through it or even if y'all want to talk about it, but I'm just saying. So that right there was like, okay, then first thing I need to do is get off this damn
Blood pressure
get my
medicine.
get my health in order. You know what I'm saying? So, and like John said, you got to start taking care of your body. So after about 6-7 months, I was good.
Yeah. You got to work out. You got to do that. And as you just said, you work out at the gym. And you mentioned the doctor. How often do we go to the doctor? I go to the doctor at least twice, 3 times a year to make sure. But you're right. We talk a good game, but when you got to be on this medicine, you not in shape, your performance goes out the window. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. It does. So you got to take charge. I mean, you look at it not dying, but you also look at trying to live each day of your life at the end of the day. And if you don't put in, you're not gonna be able to put out. So you're gonna have to change your ways to change the medicine situation and get yourself back in order to do what needs to be done. And even if you ain't on medicine, your libido changes, fellas. Your libido, I tell you, a woman gets stronger, a man as he gets older. You know, they didn't create them blue pills because everybody got high blood pressure. No, because as you get older, stuff don't work as well as it does as it used to.
We'll come at that.
Exactly.
We'll come at that when I just want to hear from Vic.
So the mental and the physical. So I don't have a similar story, but something along the lines what you was talking about, Marv. So back, I think it was like 14 to 15 or whatever. I went through I ain't gonna call it a mental break, but me and my children's mother, we broke up, and I got fired on the same day. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, I lost my family and my livelihood on the same day. The same damn day.
Damn.
And Sly, that's a good comment too.
Yeah, it is.
So I was in the funk, bro. And I ain't gonna say I ran, but I went down there to Florida in Jacksonville, my family, and I lived out of a hotel for like 3 weeks. It was very expensive.
Let me ask you something, bro. So when you went through that, who did you call?
Nobody.
You had no. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
You had to carry that weight all on your own.
Because I felt like a failure as a man, a failure as a father, a failure in so many different ways. I did.
I can understand that.
Because I don't have any, you gotta understand, I'm an only child. I mean, my daddy got kids, but me and my older brothers, we wasn't there at that time for me to call my brother Travis or my brother Jeffrey or my brother Reggie and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We weren't there. We there not. Well, me and Travis is there now. But at that time, it was just me. So my whole thing was the run.
Like, I get it.
So but I got family, I got family in Jacksonville. They didn't know why I was down there. They just know what the fuck you going on. You know what I'm saying?
Chilling out.
I'm staying at the courtyard for 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thinking about nothing. I'm just like, man. And the lady was like, well, you want another day? Yeah, go ahead and charge another day. You know, I was going like that. So when I came, my mama finally was like, where you at? Because, mail piling up, whoop, whoop. And she was like, well, you got to do something. So anyway, I found another job, whatever. But every woman after that, it was like 2 or 3 within that year span. Like, it was nothing.
You had no feelings?
It wasn't no feelings. Like, I didn't even want to do anything, like sexually with them. It was just like, I know to kill time, I want to be with a woman, but I don't want to have sex with her. I didn't. And it wasn't until I started going, I think our job was doing this thing with our health thing, and you had to sign up for some shit to get points. So in order for me to get
some points,
trying to get some free shit. But this is the thing. I forgot the name of the program, but if you signed up for this mental shit, you got 3,500 points, and it was a lower rate on your health insurance. So I just signed up to it, and this lady called me, and I was like, she called me. It's like, in order to complete this, you got to do this. Mm-hmm. So I went through with it, and I got my points. But she helped me through that little roadblock that I came to. So in a sense, it was I guess a double positive, or I guess somewhere you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But it was a good thing.
Wait. So Vic, you said you got help, but you don't believe in it.
No.
But you experienced help out of it. So
I've been, bro, listen, I've probably been the most psychologists or psychiatrists or anybody up here.
Okay.
You know, when I got out of when I came back from Afghanistan, they tried to put us on all this fucking medicine for our psyche. And I was like, I didn't want to take it. I don't like taking medicine.
Mhm.
So the other thing we had to do was go to a psychologist. So I went to go see him. My thing is I don't like trauma. And when I'm in it and I make it out of it, I'm cool. I dealt with it. But for me to relive it and you want me to tell you how I feel, that ain't what I want to do. That's why I don't like shit.
And I'm
like
glad
that.
that you explained because you've never really explained
Yeah.
that. This is the
I know,
first time you
I
explained
know,
this.
like you were saying, like you had to deal with it yourself.
Yeah.
So like, I'm in a group chat with a couple of my brothers, and all of them are older than me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So they talk about real life situations, like unfiltered. So it's a safe place for me to go and let, like, if I got questions, like, well, how y'all navigate through this part of life, or how y'all do with this relationship, how y'all got through this breakup, or how y'all got through this financial hardship. It's like with that support system, like it's better for me, and we help each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like with you going through that all alone, like that was tough. So I feel like we all should have some type of support system.
That's true.
Hey, I want to speak on some of that. Like you're talking about the sexual issues and the mental issues. If you got mental problems, ain't nothing else gonna work. Because when it comes to sex, if you mentally think that you ain't gonna perform,
It ain't gonna happen. This shit ain't gonna happen.
and because they have actually did studies. You know, they give a group of guys over here erectile dysfunction medicine, and they give them other little sugar pills. If they think they're getting medication, it works. So it's more mental than anything else.
Yeah.
Now, some people physically, it ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, but a lot of it's mental.
It's
If you're strong, you can overcome a lot of stuff.
It's a term.
Yeah.
Like it's mental, like you said, like if you're thinking about it, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
That's true. Let me just say this. As far as physical, I thank God I'll be 49 next Saturday. And I got a good bill of health. You know, I'm on no medications. You know, I never had high blood issue. My whole family got it, but I never had it. I've been working out since I was like 22. Yeah, since I was like 22. I don't do as much cardio as I do. I do hit the heavy bag.
That's different.
Yeah, I hit the heavy bag. And I work 2 full-time jobs. And a lot of people who know me, now you need to rest. I don't know how to shut down. That's my thing. And with me, like physically, yeah, I eat pretty good. You know, my chicken breast, little steak, salmon, rice, broccoli. I eat pretty good. And I eat pretty clean. Don't get me wrong. I do eat me a burger every now and then, you know, whatever. But I eat pretty decent. I drink about a gallon and a half of water a day. You know, literally every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But work out about 5-6 days a week for us physical. Mental, y'all may see me post on fishing somewhere. That's my prayer time. That's my wind down time. It's more than just fishing for me. I'm really purging my mind of everything I done took in the world, and I'm just my time with God. Or I'm just having conversations, you know, with the Lord. I'm praying, you know what I'm saying? Now, me, as far as mental, I'll talk to anybody. I never had somebody to call up and just talk to, like if I'm going through something or if I got hardships, like with my daddy, you know, like 2 years ago, coming up in October, they found my daddy baby sister dead in her house.
Damn.
And November, right after that, his middle sister passed. Right after that, my daddy passed. That's back.
So you
Nobody
had
would have
nobody-
known if they didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I buried all of them.
I'm saying, so you had nobody to go to with that. Like I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that was
People
it.
knew, and they knew my daddy's sister. They were like mothers to me. That's how close we was. So no, I didn't have that. You know where I take my aggression out on? The iron, the
But is
gym.
that healthy though?
I don't know.
But
I mean, being honest, I don't know.
That's interesting because you've heard of people talking about meditation helps folks. And when you just say that you go fishing and you go and you purge, you go and you take your mental psyche and you turn within
Right.
and you organize. That's what meditation is. Meditation is not just sitting up there and sitting in a position and just breathing. It's about organizing, getting yourself a self-discipline. And that's why he may not always need to talk with someone. Like that's why I have to kind of lean towards Victor at times on this, because sometimes you don't need someone to talk to unless that's something that you need. If you know how to meditate, a lot of people are able to turn within and deal with their problem. Because see, a lot of us look at God is out here and God is here. So we got to learn how to deal with that. So John may be turning, and I'll be honest with you, bro, you're meditating without calling it meditation. And that's how you are focusing or refocusing and how you are able to deal with that trauma.
But
So-
let me just say this real quick. No, I'm cut you off. I apologize.
Go ahead. No, you good.
Like I said, I don't think and I'm being honest, I don't think I know how to pick up the phone and say, Marvin,
See, that's the point.
I'm
That's
going
the point I
through.
would get.
It's like if I felt away, like before I came here, I was literally at the gym from 12:30 till about 3:30.
You was dealing with whatever you was going
Bam,
through.
clanging iron, beating myself up. Then I go hit the heavy bag, hit that. That's my outlet of dealing. Or sometimes if you see me smoking a cigar, it's more than just smoking a cigar. I'm probably just really reflecting on some things during the week. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, people may see me on social media and see me joke or see me clowning, which I love to laugh. If you know me, I love to joke, even if I'm the butt of the joke. But I think honestly, and I mean seriously, but honestly, and I'm being for real, I'm honestly scared for somebody to piss me off. Because I'll probably go ape shit.
Because you got all that stuff built up.
Right, for years.
And at the point, see, that's the problem. Like we as black men should be able to come together. And like the experiences you go through, like I'm pretty sure all of us done been through some type of that experience at some point in our life. So that way, like I can come to you, like you can tell me how you got through it, or you can come to me, vice versa. Like I had a situation not too long ago, and Vic chopped it up on the phone about an hour and a half. Like, you know what I'm saying? That gave me an inner peace that cleared my mind. Like,
and that's great. And you know what the crazy part is? I welcome any brother to call me. That, and I do get dudes. I've gotten dudes in my DM just to hit me up and say, John, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
Me and you.
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say,
You know, I'm not telling them,
Yeah,
but me and
yeah.
you done had a conversation, and you know, I just really called a check on it one time, and I'm not going into detail, but it turned really, you know, I felt like I couldn't let him off the phone until I, you know, did something to hopefully lift his spirit. I'm good at giving out. I just ain't good at releasing me out.
So
If that makes sense.
I want to get the dog comment. Dog
Yeah.
says it's hard as a black man to find safe avenues to open up because a lot of people like to throw stuff back in your face. Thank God if you have close enough people to vent safely because it's rare. Touch on that, and I want Mr. Salmon to say something as well. I don't take this as a slight. I'm not saying that I got a lot of people in my corner, but everybody in my corner is in my phone. Because understand, I'll call somebody and they have no idea why I'm calling them. And they don't know, like, they're like, well, damn, you know, what's up, bro? And I'm just like, I won't say, I just need to talk to somebody. Because to me, that makes it weird. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm going to ease it in there, what I need to say. You know what I'm saying? When I called you, I needed to talk to you about that. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I'll call the most random person in my phone and be like, what's up, man? I ain't talked to you in a while, boo. And I'll be like, and I'll ease that shit right on in there, get some form of an answer or relief in that conversation. And in a sense, I'm like, okay, I'm good. And keep it pushing. I don't know if that's healthy, but that's how I process things because I've dealt with super sensitive women that, hell, if I damn look a certain type, what's wrong? And I'm like, man, chill. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious.
Mm.
And then I've also dealt with, a woman or some women that they didn't know or they had no emotional output whatsoever, and that fucking sucks. I'd rather deal with a super sensitive woman that is going to constantly make sure I'm okay than a woman that's just not. She's just like, that shit, he over there crying. He be all right.
Yeah, I get it. For a second.
Yep.
Ryan, he said, to be honest, some people are not safe spaces or don't know how to handle the weight of people's problems. Now that is very
That's
true.
what I was saying. Like, it can't. That when you said if you pick up the phone and call random people, like, nah, you don't. Like, you wouldn't share your deepest, most personal inner feelings with somebody random. That's what I'm saying. Like, it got to be somebody close to you that you have a certain type of bond with, that you feel free to even release that type of information to.
How do we always say that? Just like all you brothers said, including myself, that it's good to have someone to turn to. You talk about going to the gym, you hit the bag. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking at things that are quote unquote safe. What about where we turn to other outlets? Because remember, our mind deals with satisfaction, meaning that if we're dealing with something, some of us go to alcohol, some will go to weed, some will go to the opposite sex. They go to sex. See, we're being nice about this, but let's be real about this.
Wait a minute.
About this.
Wait.
I ain't never been that.
Let me finish. Go ahead. But this is real. Everybody
go to the opposite. You said everybody go to the opposite.
I said
No.
I'm a heterosexual person. So
No, you said
a guy may turn to a woman. A guy or a woman may turn to another man. That's what I'm saying.
I ain't that bad. Though. I go to the gym. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you misunderstood what he said.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you said. I apologize. I apologize. Because that's what I was like. I apologize.
I'm just trying to say that if we talking about men's health and we talking about relationships, a lot of times when we are stressed within a relationship, we don't always turn to the bottle. We turn to a woman on the job. You see what I'm saying? So we're looking at the nice things. We're being nice about it. But that's how our mind works sometimes. We deal with anything that will take our mind or ease our mind off of that trauma at that moment. And it may be the gym, it may be meditation, but it may be the bottle, it may be the woman. Or you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the point I'm making.
Thanks. I want to apologize again.
Like, I feel like if you try to deal with it yourself, like you were saying, keeping it in, that's when you will start turning to the bottle or turning to the opposite sex or just like whatever else you was just saying. My thing it was just like, I feel like if you have a solid crew, you should be able to open up. Not because, like, if you got people in your corner, they ain't gonna let you turn to the bottom if they care about you.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Like, they ain't gonna let you just fall to the wayside.
Sometimes people don't know what you're going through, and sometimes, like you said,
people don't know. So, like, if I'm going through something, I might tell Vic if I feel that comfortable. Me and Vic been friends, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
So, like, if it's like that deep, I probably wouldn't go to Vic with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my cousin Barry, he done taught me off the lid about a whole lot of stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just not saying, like, go to some random person. It's got to be somebody that you know got your best interests at heart. Like, they ain't going to let you act the fool out here in the street if they care about you. That
exactly.
But you know,
Hey, off of what Marvin just said, I totally agree with everything Marvin said, but there's another side of that also. You know, you got this group. See, a lot of people don't have that group.
They don't.
And like me myself, I don't have that group. But I never seen the need for that group because I always been able to handle stuff myself. And never turned to any of the stuff y'all talking about, the drugs, the alcohols, or none of that now. But I may have turned to the women. as an outlet.
Yeah. That was a great
So
outlet.
that's a release also.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I always say,
Yeah.
if they're gonna be one release, let it be that one.
Yeah.
See, because you know,
I gotta ring my bell on that one.
And that's why he the mayor.
and what happens is,
I ring my bell.
Oh my goodness.
I got some people that will come dump their properties and stuff on me because they're not gonna give them a straight shot. Ain't no cutting corners. If you feel this way, then you feel that way. But Sam is gonna give you the honest truth.
Yep.
But I've been able to navigate myself through, as of today, these 6-9 years.
See, I messed up. I almost messed up a relationship like that because I'm trying to be that man, that strong man. Us men, we told pull our pants up by the bootstrap. We got to be strong. We have to take it. We have to be the leaders at the end of the day. And when you're dealing with so much stress, finance, a person, a mate that is sick, and next thing you know, you're talking with someone and you're enjoying their company, you can wind up going down a rabbit hole, man, before you know it, because it's an outlet. It's just taking your mind off of that. And you don't even know how to even admit that. Everybody don't have a boy to go to and talk to at the end of the day or want to, because that talking versus what you said, Mr. Sammy, on that release, I'll take that release over. Some people will take that release over having that conversation with somebody.
But is the release beneficial for you?
It might be,
Okay,
beneficial at the time.
Mr. Sammy said with the women,
That's what I mean.
You got no pushback on me with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But you were talking about bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, all the outlets. Remember, you can't sit here and choose all the outlets. The gym is an outlet. The heavy bag is an outlet. Talking to someone is an outlet. Sex is an outlet. They're all outlets. You can't sit here and separate that when a person is going through something and they have to make a choice what outlet they may want to go.
Like, I'm not saying you should make a choice. My thing is, like, some outlets are better than other outlets.
That's true.
That was the point I was making.
That's true.
Like, if Vic was going through something, I'm not finna let Vic sit at the bar and drink $300 worth of tequila.
Right.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna let him do that.
You done did it once.
I told you to go home. You want to stay. You doing fine. I'm saying, like, that's my point. I wouldn't want to see somebody going down the rabbit hole, as you said.
So with the outlets, there's so many ways we can dissect that, and I really don't want to knock nobody for the outlet, but I get what you're saying, because the side effects to it. You hitting the heavy bag, you hitting this, and you doing this, and you pull your muscle, and now what's your outlet when you lose that? If we running women, and now I got my car keyed up, but I don't know who did it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm talking to everybody and doing this, and now all my business out there in the street. So it's like, there's many outlets, but we have to choose them in a sense correctly.
I would say choose a safe outlet.
Okay, safe outlet.
Little Jason Dog says, my outlet is food. Laugh out loud. Terrible outlet. It just went up there, but terrible outlet, but it's definitely mine. We all have ways to find happiness when things are going left.
Facts, Jason.
Let me say something.
That's an outlet for a lot of people.
A lot of people, they call it comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then they overeat. You know what I'm saying? Now they're not healthy. Yeah. Because their outlet was food. Yeah. Like I said, like, you should choose a safer outlet.
I'm gonna eat some coochie. That's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, that's no calorie.
That's a great outlet. But you know what? You just said something just now, and let me go back to something Fatine said a few minutes ago.
Thanks,
you said, let me go to the lighter subject first. As we get older, you said men, sometimes decrease in their sexual
testosterone.
Now, I can't speak for no another man, and I don't know what the hell's going on with me, because I stay horny, for real. And I'm serious. I stay horny. Hell, I'm horny now. But no, it ain't about looking at y'all when you know. Trust me. ain't nothing great in my job. Hey, but for real, but for me, and I noticed this in the past, I say year. I said this to myself. I said, damn, what the hell wrong with me?
Pause.
I'm staying goddamn morning now. For real, what the hell is wrong with me? I thought start to go to the doctor really and ask doc what's going on with me. But I had to sit down and do some reading. For one, deadlifts. I love deadlifts. They release a testosterone in men like it ain't funny. Legs, you know this. Legs, it releases it. And I loved, and this goes back to what I was saying. I love to beat myself up. I love to beat myself up.
God, John.
I ain't saying beat myself up. I ain't saying beat myself up. I ain't saying I love to beat myself up.
Oh, everybody said that.
That is my meaning.
Look at Brian.
That is my meaning.
I know what you mean, boy. I don't want to get my testosterone up, though.
You know, for me,
Mhm.
my sexual drive had to decrease. You know, as getting older. You know, when it gets older. But Vic said something just like you were saying, hitting bag. You know, if you get hurt, what's your outlet? But you know, the craziest thing about me,
What's that?
I'm like, man, Dad, y'all are really psycho when I say this. It shows
Yeah.
biology
Yeah.
sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I'm being changed. I keep going. It can be hurt my head. And I wouldn't know it.
Still beating it. You heard me? Still beating it.
You need to check that out.
So,
I mean, you know.
yeah, Brandon, please
Check that out.
Hey.
So let me tell you this, John. I go to the chiropractor once a week.
Okay.
I got to because that's a release as well.
Mhm.
And my shoulder was bothering me, man. Please get somebody to look at that, bro.
But I do go to chiropractor.
Okay.
For my back. I got in a car accident like some years ago.
Mhm.
And so I go get a back adjustment. I haven't gone in a while.
Oh man.
But I haven't went in a while lately. But my thing is, like I said, I guess, you know, it's the outlet and I release, you know, whatever. Man, y'all still think like me when I say I beat myself up.
I'm trying to pay this attention, bro.
Hey, when I said I beat myself up, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. I was meaning I'm gonna work out, beat myself up. I didn't mean beat myself like that. Dang, man.
Yep.
Hey, but
But you said something about, and that's interesting because my former father-in-law, man, he hit 60, his 60s and early 70s, and his testosterone level was here. And some men have that. You talk about you exercise, you talk about your exercise. Some people, genetics are different. Genetic work, makeup is different. And that's another thing with you. And then you talked about you do certain things you don't put into your body. You said your age today, you're 49, bro.
I'll be that next Saturday.
You should not be losing your testosterone. You ain't smoking weed. You ain't drinking all the time. You not doing things to hurt your body.
Make me go up.
yeah, I drink weed now.
So you know, our testosterone should be. I just test and I'm older than you, bro. And I just did a testosterone test at my doctor, and mine was good. But like you said, when you are on certain medicine, if you don't work out and don't have to be so abundant on that medicine, then that is the repercussion. You're not on no medicine, bro. You good, man. Keep working out and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Come on, what Patine just said. All right, all you guys in here, special Marvin, Victor, John, you young guys. Your sexual drive should be off the chart.
Damn right.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was as young as y'all were. It was ridiculous.
Damn
you
right.
know, like
So this is Mama Mr. Salmon, for real.
yeah, seriously.
Wait a minute now. Let me go ahead, Mr. Sam, please.
And now I'm still sexually active.
Yeah.
Without medication.
Yeah.
And I just became 69 years old today. Now, I hear some guys talking about they in their 40s and 50s.
Damn right.
And they don't have a sex drive.
Crazy.
That's not normal.
Yep.
So I mean, right with that.
So let me tell you about me.
Okay.
All right, I'm the youngest one on the stage, and I'm gonna tell you this: my sex drive is this big. I got a 3-month-old. My sex drive is done. You know what I'm saying?
Because of the 3-year-old.
Because of the 3-year-old, 3-month-old, excuse me.
You scared? You might have
I'm
another.
scared.
You scared? You
I'm
might have
scared.
another.
I want to, but I ain't going to.
See, that goes to show that goes to show that sex drive is mental.
It is. I'm gonna tell you how it is. Hey, Vic, hell no. Mm-mm.
See, and then you don't like to wrap it up, so
Yeah, that's wrong. I mean, that's the problem. You like it wrong. They ain't gonna say
Skin to skin, baby.
put it on that little boy. Don't put it on that baby. Don't put it on that baby. You gonna let it go.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Exactly.
But I get it. I fully get it.
I do, you know.
Let me let's throw another one out here. Is there anything that a possible, I'll say a special female, not any. Is there anything a special female could do to possibly preserve your mental, or in this aspect in your life? Is there anything she could possibly do to make your life easier as a man? Because you see the post sometimes, be his peace and all this. I mean, but go ahead, man. I'm trying not to laugh. But is there anything that she could, all you got going on in your life, is there anything that she could possibly do to contribute to really helping you live a healthier life as a man?
I feel like if she care about you, like she gonna make you better. Like in all
That's true.
aspects of life.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like I learned a lot from women.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, like if she not making you better, you're not making her better. Like what y'all really doing, man? Yeah.
I think it's support. I think and I say this a lot on the Tangy Tea, it's about a connection. And when there is that, when you talk about that physical connection, but that mental and that spiritual connection, you have a similar background. Like my wife for 32 years, and like I said, hit a bump at the end, but for those 32 years, it was more of such a good time. Her family had the same roots as my family. The food was very similar. Her outlook on having children and my outlook was the same. She knew her role. She did her role. I knew my role. And I also had to deal with her illness, but she was always the one that pushed through and never looked to burden anyone. She never wanted to burden me or the children. And she was always a fighter and a pusher. But when you meet that person, because I've said this to Vic and to Veronica, and I'm gonna say it to everybody here, I have that ruler now to measure that inch, and I don't want to compare because it's not fair to the new woman if that person comes into my life. But unfortunately, I got a ruler that I'm measuring that inch now. And if you don't come there, you may not be the same. But if you come half-assed, and I'm not wasting my time because I know what a successful relationship looked like at the end of the day. So to me, when you make that connection, you can list a lot of things, attributes on a paper, but when you make that connection and y'all are working like hand in glove, that's what is special. And when you feel that, bro, and you know it, that's the difference. Yes, sir.
Okay, then you said y'all had a special connection. Right?
Yes, sir.
So were you able to, like you said earlier, your outlets, were you able to go to her and open up about your feelings, like when you was going through stuff?
Good question. So a lot of the external things that I was dealing with, yes, except for one. And the one was I didn't realize that I was starting to suffer mentally, emotionally from her illness. And as we raised children, and to the point of every time she would go in the hospital, not knowing if she will come out of that hospital, I can't have that conversation with her. That's when that outlet became, I would talk to my friend, but then that outlet became, oh, I'm talking to somebody else. And then the next thing you know, you building a friendship with someone else. And I couldn't go to her on that one because I felt if I did go to her, it was some way it would tear her down. So I had to be strong, but I wasn't really as strong as I thought I was.
I had my ex fiance, the last one, she really took my health more serious than I did. You know what I'm saying? Every doctor's appointment, if she couldn't make it, she would like cut your phone on speaker. Because, you know, I would go into the doctor's office and, you know, I went and she'd be like, well, did you tell him this? Did you tell him this? And I'm like, fuck, I forgot. And, you know, and she was like, oh, I'm going. Put me on speakerphone. And she said, anyway, my side used to hurt all the time. And I'm like, she was like, you need to tell him that. Anyway, I went up there and I had, I guess between the kidney and your bladder, it's called a uterus, and it started to narrow for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So I had to get a standard procedure. And if it wasn't for her, all that stuff could have backed up into my kidney. So I do thank her for taking my health so seriously because she's in the healthcare. Mm-hmm. But when we split, somebody got to pick this shit up. So that somebody had to be me. Yeah. So I do take my health more seriously, but it wasn't until I was like 36, 37, somewhere up in there, that I learned how to take care of myself. I should say, you know, medically take care of myself. Because I didn't have a primary physician when I got out of the Marine Corps. I was like, I'm good. I'm bulletproof and all this other shit. And then when I got with her, she was like, listen, you got to go to the doctor, bro. You got to do this. You got to do this. So I salute her for putting me on the right track at a later time in life.
Mm. So when it comes to medical like that, I was in a long-term marriage, and me and my wife raised 3 kids, and with kids coming up, you gotta have them on a regular medical program, and I always thought that going to the doctor was serious because so many of us black men don't go to the doctor. But I was one of the ones that always went to the doctor on regular. And back in 2000, my oldest brother, he died from prostate cancer. So I never had my prostate checked before that. So I was waiting on the results to come back, and I was sweating bullets every day. Sweating bullets. Yeah. Then the results came back, and my PSA was down there 1 point something, so I was good. So like now, ever since 2000, I was getting my prostate check once a year, but I had to go to the doctor every 4 months. I'm on that plan. Don't cost me nothing. So if it don't cost me nothing, I need to go get that stuff done. Yeah. So because right now, you know, my wife, my sisters and stuff is out in Texas. If I don't take care of Sammy, ain't nobody gonna take care. I got these 2 sons here. Yeah. I got 3 sons, but you know, they got their own lives and stuff. So I gotta look out for Sammy because I don't have that significant other in my corner right now. Because, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but with my long time marriage, it's hard to find someone that I think is qualified for that position. Yeah, see, Mark personally know her, so he worked with her for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so crazy you said that. I think about that. That's like a weekly thought I have. My daughter, she just turned 26 this past Tuesday. She's grown out in the world. And y'all know, I look after my mama. She just turned 79 right. July. So y'all know this. And with me, I don't have that significant other. So it's like, hey, I mean, forget when COVID came about. And it was kind of a scary time when COVID first came. You ain't know what was happening, what was going on, or what. I told the Lord, you know, I can't afford to get sick because I ain't got nobody to come bring me groceries, see about me, or nothing. I ain't got that. If I fall out right now, dude, I let me tell you something, and I'm gonna keep it up. Let me keep this so real with y'all right now. Y'all think I'm lying. I ain't got emergency contact on my own at my job. Neither one of them.
I thought about
I'm being real, man.
No, that's legit, and people don't understand that that's a legit concern that some men have, or some people have that's single out here. Because you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's funny you say that. That's why I feel like you got to be related. When I got in the shower before I came over here, I thought about it. I was like, if I fall and slip, you know, my kids at the house, but if I slip and fall right now, what effects would it have on my life? Because like you said, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got these kids, but my oldest is 17. So if You know, my mother's still alive. She's 70 something, 6, 7, 8, somewhere up in there. And
You're gonna get beat up about that.
I would have to do that. She was born in 48, so she's 75. So I'm like, it for a significant injury or sickness.
Yeah.
Yes, I have some money set aside, but at what point that I would have to give all that up, sell my house, maybe use my rental property as some form of income, but I'm still a burden to somebody. And that somebody that I'm a burden to is not somebody that has to deal with me.
Right. They do it good.
So I don't want to be 44 years old in a nursing home.
Right. Yeah. But Victor, you said it right. I want to go back to you, but I'm gonna tie Victor in. You said you don't have emergency contact?
No, I don't.
So I never went in life that when I never from school to adult, marriage, breakup, always had emergency contact, and now widow. Now my daughter's in New York, but I have family here. So I got like 2 on emergency contact. I like right now, if I send an emergency SOS on my phone, 2 in New York is getting my 2 daughters, and 2 of my cousins, my first cousins, like my sisters down here, are gonna get that. You know, so I think that comes about a responsibility for ourselves that we got to look at it from the perspective, because we assume that tomorrow we're gonna get up, but we can walk out of here and be driving and don't do nothing wrong and somebody hit us, and then we're in the hospital. So we got to make sure that somebody got our back, that they know what to do and what our wishes are if something does happen to us.
That's very true. But like Vic said, and I'm gonna tell you this came to me about a few years ago. I sprained my back. And at the time I was living in Columbia. And when I got off work, something just said, don't go home. You better come all the way back to your mama's house. Something just said, you better drive back to your mama's house. Back was like really hurting me. I came to my mama's house. This is a true story. Woke up. I went in the house. I was kind of hunked over. And she said, you all right? I said, Mama, my back. I sprained it. I woke up like 11 o'clock that night. There you go. I couldn't move.
I don't cool down.
And exactly. I was laying in the bed. And if you ever come to my mama's house, I was laying in the other room. I could see into her room. She was in bed asleep. I called EMS to come and everything. And I called the house phone to wake her up. Next thing you know, I literally had to put my arms around one of the EMS guys and walk out like a baby steps, because my back went out. And the whole time, my mom was sitting there crying because she was looking at her son, couldn't walk, not knowing what was going on. But I'm going to speed the story up real quick. But the thing about it, what it was, the whole thing was going through my mind, Lord, I don't want to die alone. But at the same time, it goes like Vic said, everybody ain't gonna take care of you when you're down and out. And
No, they won't.
You know what I'm saying?
What you mean by die alone?
Well, I don't want to grow old and just by myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stuck in the home and you know.
So instead of saying I don't want to die alone, why not say I don't want to live alone? You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
like
so
why
true.
would you wait to just get ready to tap out and be like,
and that's a great way to look at it.
I wouldn't want to live alone.
That's a good.
And that's a great way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? That's a great
Yes.
perspective to look at. That's another thought process, you know. But at that time, you know, that's what I said. Yeah, but that's a great way to think about it and to look at it. And we appreciate you dropping that jewel for me, you know, and everything. But like I said, everybody don't want to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't. You find out who love you when you down.
You damn right.
You know, you gonna find out who really got love for you.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'll tell you all this, you know, kind of, I ain't gonna say it's mama no. I've seen my mama cry twice in my life. Once when I went to the Marine Corps and she realized that I was leaving because I'm her only child. And the second time I seen my mother cry was on October the 12th of 2018. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm an electrician, so to all my electricians, they might get I ain't gonna say a kick, but I was at work and I grounded 12,500 volts and it blew up on me, right? When I tell you, we bought more power. Like we actually make power at the paper machine. I'm at the paper mill. We bought more power in 47 seconds than we have in an entire month when this event happened. It was so much shit that happened. The only thing the reason why I'm sitting right here is because of my blast suit. And Patrick, he worked with me. He'll tell you how significant it was. I blew up an entire electrical center, right? And I walked away. You know,
Lessons.
Are you telling people shut up?
it cost the company like $600,000-$700,000 to fix everything, right? Anyway, I'm gonna say I was traumatized because I wasn't, but I guess I had a look in my eye. You know, they took your blood pressure. I didn't want to go to the doctor or whatever. But anyway, my job wouldn't let me drive home, right?
Right.
So when my mama had my kids, so I was getting off that morning. So when I walked in the house, my mama said, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "What you talking about?" I said, "I just come to get my kids." And when she walked, and she says, "No, something ain't right." So she looks out the door and she sees my car sitting there, and she was like, "Nah, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, whatever. I was like, "I come to get it." She wouldn't go. Anyway, I went home, and when she followed me, and she was like, "That's the last I was crying." She said, "I don't know what happened, but I know my child." And she was like, "Whatever you doing, stop." And I'm like, "What the fuck did I do?" You know what I'm saying? But I've been through some shit, and I'm not gonna say that I'm desensitized because I do, I guess show emotions. But when it comes to traumatic experiences like that, I try not to relive. But I realize when it comes to if I was to drop now, it's just her. I got my kids, but it's just her. So that's some shit. I might need to go marry somebody.
You got one I got because my mama's 79, so I
Well,
look
mine's
out for her.
75.
So I mean, my mama elderly, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got it. I can't get sick. I can't wind up in the hospital. I ain't saying what can't happen, but I literally can't do.
But today we gonna find us some wives today. After this damn shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like we'll sit around and be like, "Oh man, we don't need no woman."
Shit, I need one.
When I say shit like that,
you be on some shit. I know.
I be texting at the same time I'm telling you, man. Fuck you motherfuckers, man. But I'm serious. Like, I can honestly say that any woman that I've dealt with, we still have some form of communication because you can't burn them bridges because I never know who I'm gonna need at the end of the day. No matter who it is, no matter how bad the breakup is, at least a year or two down the road, I'm gonna still be like, "You good?" Just to throw that line out there because you may need me. I don't want you to be in Effingham, your car on the side of the road, and you feel like you can't call me to come get you.
I understand.
Stop, man.
I'm just saying, I understand what you said because I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? And then you know what the females tell me? Oh, you like to leave doors open.
No.
But
No.
John, Mr. Samuel, Vic, and you, Marv, myself, we're leader type people, so we don't want to be a burden to anyone. And I look back, I buried both my parents and my wife. So I had to deal with sickness. My father, colon cancer, I had to deal with him and his job. My mother and father in the hospital at the same time. Then my mother had 3 strokes and my wife's sickle cell. So I had to deal with that. And I'm always wondering, there's no knock against my kids, and I don't mean to hurt my kids' feelings or my family's feelings. But I wonder now, will anybody take care of me like I've taken care of them? You understand? And because I've taken care of them, does not mean that somebody's going to take care of me the same way that I've taken care of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
Exactly.
You speak about that. There was some people, and I keep thinking about it. People say that I may be desensitized. So I spoke at my father's funeral, right? And there was some people come up to me and they said, "Well, how did you get through it?" I'm like, "That's my daddy." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody up here lying on him. I don't want you. I knew who my daddy messed with and who he didn't mess with. So I'll be damned if I let you come up here and say some shit, and my daddy didn't like you anyway. So, you know, when I put the whole thing together, you know, there was, you know, I pissed off a lot of my family members because they was like, you know, what about this? I was like, he didn't even fuck with you like that. So I don't care what this ain't about you.
Yes.
You want stuff in this obituary that's showing pictures of you with him, but he didn't like you at the time he took that picture. He damn sure didn't like you when he died. So, and I knew this. So, and I get what you're saying. Will somebody say when Vic leave here, what you doing here? Because I would want somebody to do that.
Yeah. You know, God darn, we got to have the same blood. Jesus. That's why I'm sitting here smiling, because when I'm telling you about my aunts and my daddy, like back to back to back, I gave the words of comfort over all of them.
Yeah.
I buried all of them.
Yeah.
My daddy, I sang and I did the words of comfort at his funeral. And one of my homeboys, he said, man, how you do it? I said, it ain't me now, it's God. Trust me.
Facts.
Trust me now. Trust
I can't even remember what I said. I still got the tape.
I know, like, I'm fortunate to still have
Both your parents.
You blessed, man. You blessed.
I know, but like, I lost my best friend. I know you know.
Yeah, I met him.
And they asked me to speak out before. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do it, but I know if it was me, he would have been right there.
Mm.
So I just felt I had to do it. Like, I don't know. I can't even tell you what I said.
Exactly. You remember anything you said?
I remember pretty much everything I said. And when I had a word of prayer off to the side, I asked the Lord to take all of me out of it and more of him. You know, now trust me. Could I do it again? God, Jesus probably knew. If I had to do it all over again, because I got down to the last ending and I said, I'll never forget, I almost cracked. And I said, if I can be half the man, and I folded right there. And I paused for a second, got myself together, got my chest out, because I had to do what I had to do. And I said, if I can just be half the man that he was, I think I'd do all right. But I'm going to be honest. The reality was when I got back to his house and I looked in his room, you know how they say you slide down the wall?
Yeah.
Slid down the wall, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dude was gone. I was by myself.
What do you think? We sitting up here. Why do you think us men tend to? Is there a reason? Well, how can I say this about being single? Well, I mean, after we have children, past relationships, maybe some ups and downs or whatever. Is there a reason why? Is it not finding the right one? You know, Mr. Samuel, I'm gonna hit you with that first because you're our elder spokesman here. But what does it seem why we have not made my wife passed in April, so it's fairly new. But why is it that we tend to seem to be more single people, more single brothers out here today?
I was thinking about the same thing before you asked that question. Because I talked to quite a few women. I'm not talking about. Oh no, y'all got it wrong. Now I'm talking about just in conversation. What they say is, they always say there's no good men. Mm-hmm. But like right now, there's 5 good men on stage, but all 5 of us are single. So like you asked, why are we single? The main reason I'm single is because I was in a long-term marriage, and I'm set in my ways. I ain't gonna put up with the crap, and don't have to put up with the crap. So I just rather have friends than a significant other. Now tell me this, Ed, at your age, you should be ready to settle down by now. I am settled down. I just ain't settled down with one person.
Good point. Interesting point.
I want to say, can y'all scroll up? I can't see her name, but she made a
look at my sister-in-law. Hey,
Go scroll up a little bit more. Right there. She said, to be honest, Carl Cheryl. To be honest, I'm hearing a lot of you guys talking about having no one. If something happens to you alone with God, y'all may want to consider finding and holding on to a good loyal woman. So that's kind of going along with what we're saying.
Can I respond to that?
Please do.
And get you started.
Come on, man.
You said go back to that lawyer. Go back up to that again.
It's your birthday.
Okay. You all may want to consider your thinking, finding and holding on to a good lawyer woman.
Okay.
Good and lawyer.
Good, get her.
You said a whole lot right there. That's a lot of stuff right there. You know, I've been single now for 12 years. I ran across quite a few good women. Some of them might have would have been lawyer if I would have allowed them to be lawyer. But I wasn't going to be lawyer, so there was no reason for them to be lawyer. And even at my age, I'm not considering that growing old by myself yet, because I still think I got quite a few years left. That's my take on that.
Miss Carl, I hope you got your answer.
Yeah, I'll just jump in real quick on that one. It's interesting. It's interesting what Mr. Sammy said, because he's being honest with himself. He's saying what I'm going to give you. So we have to be honest what we are willing to give them. But I appreciate Carr's point of view out there. And I mentioned this before, that when you don't want to put up with the crap. Especially us that have been in a long-term relationship or any kind of relationship. I don't want to start putting you've been in any kind of relationship that didn't work, or you had ups and downs. You don't want to be in any relationship that's going to cause you problems. Nothing is perfect and you got to work at it. But at this stage, as you, Mr. Sammy, been in a long-term, I've been in a long-term relationship. We ain't got time for nonsense at the end of the day. I don't mind having somebody in my life that I can continue on and grow with. And I've said this before, I would rather have someone in my life that is compatible and we're happy and we're living life. You understand? But I don't have time for the nonsense. So until that day happens, they always say, if you're going to be miserable, I'd rather be miserable by myself than miserable with someone.
She came back with that.
Yo.
We all get older. You never know who you're going to need. Knowing who you're going to need and having that person there is a whole different ballgame.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
Are we getting them just to make sure that we don't be by ourselves, or do we get somebody that we are compatible and love?
I'd rather be by myself.
Right.
Yeah. If it ain't with the right person.
Got to be the right person.
House?
Oh man, I thought y'all was gonna skip me.
Oh no.
No, brother.
Why am I single? I'm kind of like, I'm gonna start off with, I do want what my parents have. Like I do want that. Let me put that out here. Now I'm gonna go back to it. Why am I single? I'm kind of like Mr. Sammy. I'm set in my ways.
Yeah.
So been single now a couple years, and I can move how I want to move.
Yeah.
Not saying I move from women, this girl to this girl to this girl to this girl. It's a different type of freedom. I can wash my dishes when I want to. I can come home. I can stay 3 hours in the gym. I don't have relationship responsibilities. Like, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you committed. You gotta be all in. Like, and at this point in my life, I don't want to be all in. And that don't mean I want to be all in the street. It's just like I like to do stuff. When I want to move, I want to move. When I want to go to the gym, I want to go to the gym. I want to hang out with my crew. I want to hang out with my crew without the relationship responsibilities that go along with being in a relationship.
So what will change that? Will a woman change that, or will you change that?
It'd have to be both. I would have to be willing to change for this person. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it would have to be 50. Like, I'm not saying it won't ever happen. But like, that's like, I'm simple. Like, a lot of people like, oh, you just want to run the streets, you want to be with this girl. Like, I don't even really Like my thing is, if you're in a relationship, you can still be with this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, if that's what you're so true to do.
That's a good point.
My sister, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't look at that. I wouldn't look at that. Don't even look.
Don't look
Has
over
a
there.
woman ever changed you?
Hmm?
Has a woman ever changed you?
Like you said, a woman come into your life that
Hell
would be
no.
kind of changing.
Has a woman ever
Hell no.
changed you to say, wait a
Hell
minute, I kind of like this?
Every woman that I actually spent time with has changed me in some sort of way. Mostly for the better though.
Yeah. I feel like,
Bro, I saw you open the car door, so I know you changed. I seen that with my own eyes. So don't even lie. Don't even lie. I ain't gonna say who. I ain't gonna never open no car door.
so I'm a chameleon.
Yeah.
I can adapt.
Okay.
Whatever's gonna keep the peace, that's what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
But once I feel like, you know, we're not going to get there, then I can revert back to this. To answer that original question, there's a difference between being single and being lonely. I'm not lonely. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a woman to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? I can, like Marvin said, you can go to the gym. I ain't going there, but you can go to the gym. I could take, a drive, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. There's a lot of things I can fill my void with, but I don't need a woman for validation. And I think a lot of people think that when you are established and you this and you that, Marv, John, Fatim, and Mr. Sammy, you all are individuals first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without a woman could have made y'all better. I don't know. But I'll be damned if you say, well, Vic became this because of her. That may be true, but I am who the man I am today based off of me and the decisions that I made. Now, I'm not saying nobody didn't pray for me and nobody didn't mold and guide me, but a ring didn't
Right.
have any influence on that. Plus, I've never been married, so
Right.
yeah.
But the only woman that ever, my wife, she didn't change me. What she did was, we was like, we was a group, like Bonnie and Clyde. We did everything together.
Mhm.
And she understood me. And a lot of people that knew me and knew her, they used to say, I don't see how you put up with that crap from Sammy.
Boy, I hear that all the time. God.
But she never seen that crap. Because I was totally different with her.
Facts.
Because she was my lady.
Right.
And other people, they were just people out there. I throwing the crap on them, but when I was going home with her, everything was totally different.
I stayed in the street. Yeah.
That's right.
Totally different.
I got a question real quick, fellas. So when women say, like the show said, a good woman, like what is a good woman? Because like a good woman for John might not be a good woman for me.
Facts.
Or the good woman for Mr. Sammy might not be a good one for me. Because like we all have our own qualities that we look for
And
in a woman.
preferences, right.
And preferences.
I can't answer that question because, like I said, it changes. Like I don't know. I can't sit here and say I like this until I experience it. I know what I don't like.
I think everybody know what they don't.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to be questioned, but I do like for you to be concerned. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do want you at some point in time to be independent, but I do need for you to make me feel like you depend on me to an extent. I do want somebody who gon', in a sense, take care of the household, but I don't want nobody who thinks she a slave. You know what I'm saying? I like, the sexual and all that contact, but I don't want to ever feel like that is forced.
Right.
So it's a lot of this and that's, but in a sense, I just want you to be you. If we compatible, we are. If we not,
I want to comment on something. And it's a kind of personal comment. That Carl Schur person up there.
Yeah.
I actually know that person. And right now they say a lot of excuses. Anytime you don't tell certain people what they want to hear, they're gonna say they're excuses. It is what it is and deal with it.
Boy.
See that, and see now we getting where this the meat and potato time. That's where I get pissed the F off, where other folks, especially women, tell us
Yeah.
how we supposed to feel
Yeah.
when we telling you how we are feeling. You understand what I'm saying? You want to tell us, well, there's a lot of excuses and this, that, and the other. From your perspective, it may be a lot of excuses, but we're telling you how we feel and how we maneuver as an individual and as a man. And that's what, and I say this to anybody, like Vic said, I don't know how much changing a person will do to you. Some people make us better, and I get that because you learn in life. But damn, you ain't gonna tell me how I feel and how I gotta move as a man. That ain't gonna happen. I hate when, because I'm not gonna tell a woman how you should feel when you ovulate, because I don't know about ovulate. So damn it, if you ain't walked 2 days in my shoes, don't tell me how I feel and talk about it as a bunch of excuses.
And like what you said, he said it right. Because I didn't answer the question the way you wanted me to,
Get excuses.
it's an excuse. It's not.
Right.
You know, I had somebody, this is no shit. I had somebody say something one time. I think we talked about this. Somebody said something one time, and I didn't respond the way she thought I should. So we fall out. And I'm like, I responded how I thought was accurate. But you wanted me to respond a certain way. You wanted me to ask you all these questions. And now you severed a relationship based on some shit you wanted me to do because I didn't check these boxes as Cosmopolitan or Jet Magazine must have said a man got to do all this shit and say all that.
See the response that Thomas D's put up there?
Mhm.
See, that is exactly right.
So you saying what you mean, but they don't want to hear that.
They don't wanna hear
But you know, and I often say this. So many women don't consider you a good man unless it aligns to their logic.
Good point.
Let's go back to, for me, I've been single now for almost 8 years since my divorce. Now, I wouldn't mind a relationship or companionship. However, don't come in and try to change John.
Yeah.
Now, you can come in and try to understand John, but don't try to change John. All right. Number one, I'm easily irritated. If I'm fishing, don't be texting and calling me, asking me when I'm coming home. This is what I do. If I, like you said, if I go to the gym, I have no set time to leave this gym. Don't come asking me, calling me, texting me what time I'm coming home. I'm serious. I'm anal about this because this right here is going to decide where we be together. When you call me on this stuff I've been doing before I come along, I don't call you at the nail salon and ask you how long they're going to be to get your goddamn pedicure and your manicure and all this and all that. Don't come calling me, asking me what time I'm coming home. Oh, the fish ain't biting, John. Why you still out there? Damn it, because I'm at peace right now.
Yes.
Leave me the hell alone.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So understand John instead of trying to change John. And you got more women nowadays. They want to know so much about men. Let's go ahead and put this shit out here. They want to know so much about damn men, but when we tell you funky ass, guess what? You don't want to hear this shit because it don't align to what the hell you think we should be. We're a good man, as long as we do what you want, how you want, when you want, and all this. But as soon as we tell you some shit, guess what? That don't align to what you think. Oh, you this way, that way. Me and you had this up. What opened the door? We was talking about trust with me. We was talking about trust. Everybody sit here and say, I've heard this so many times, John, you got trust issues. But nobody don't sit here and say, what will trigger my shit?
Why the trust?
Why, John? Why? Nobody never asked John why. But see, this the thing about it, really, and I had to realize this. A woman had to tell me this back here. This is probably about a year ago. She had to tell me, she said, John, you really don't have trust issues. You know what your thing is? It's not trust issues. You have a discernment. When you hear or see something that sparks something that don't sound right or look right, you tend to pull back. It's not really trust issue, John. It's your discernment really that's letting you be aware. But people in the world look at it as trust issues.
Yeah.
But John, let me ask you this. So you nailed it. So I'm not going there because I'm right with you with that whole changing thing. But what do you, when you in a relationship,
you understand, like you say, you have your time, she has her time, but you know, in a relationship, there is communication. So,
Mhm.
you know, if you know that that person has a good heart and you've been out, let's just say all day, and they just checking on you, you know the difference if they're mad at you
Right,
or checking
right.
on you, because you know in a relationship it is give and take.
Correct.
You know, and there comes a time when we have to give a little bit more in a relationship than being so rigid because I was single and this is how I move. Because you got to realize you're not single no more. So how you moved as a single man
Mhm.
doesn't always fit into a compatible relationship.
And that's very true.
I need you to get her.
Prime example.
I need you to get her.
Go right here. You see what she said? Damn, John, you got a lot of built-up frustration. You need a relationship. You need a relationship conversation. How you gonna tell a grown ass man what the hell I need?
Exactly.
I'm just sitting here. See, you take my tone of voice or my tone, because I
Your
get this a lot of
passion.
times.
Your passion.
Yeah, my passion. I get this a lot of times. John, you didn't say this quite that way, or why you didn't say it like this. I don't talk the way you want me to talk, or you want me to hear. You want to hear it. That's not who I am. I'm not going to alter myself, and this is where a woman got to understand me. John is not going to alter the way I talk to suit your feelings. Let me tell you something. My mama told me. Eliza McCullough, that 5'4" short woman, this was she tell me. Let me tell you what she the woman really she ever told me going to 95 South. Now I'm going to 95 South. I was taking her out to eat Savannah for her birthday. She said, let me tell you something, son. Two things I can't do at the same time for you. I can't tell you the truth and worry about how you feel.
That's true.
And I can't. And that's the same thing. And I tell women all the time, look, I don't know how to use that. If you want to hear it sweet and soft and
So
subtle,
I'm gonna say this.
don't ask, well, let me just say this. But let me just say this.
Come into a relationship,
But let me
John.
say this. If a woman, you know how a woman say, hey, John, do I look fat? I can't lie to you. I don't know how to sit here and say, I ain't
You shouldn't ask the question.
ask me that damn question. You don't know the answer. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't lying.
I'm telling the truth.
If your heel,
Damn right. I'm doing that.
your
Yeah.
damn heels in that damn heel, your foot in the heel, Lord, the pack of biscuits about to bust out. God damn it, I'm gonna tell you.
Damn right.
I'm serious. I'm about to tell you. Your feelings about to be real.
Damn right. Damn right.
Two things real quick. So after I did the first show, because we had the conversation, right? So just like the women, I said, so me and John talking, and I asked him about the trust issues, what we thought was trust issues, and we went into a detailed conversation of why he looked at things a certain way, and then we go back and forth, and it was like, okay, then so if you looking at this side of the street, it might look like you got trust issues.
Yeah.
But if you go on to this side of the street,
You don't.
you know why he feel and say and think how he think.
But boy, man,
But
this,
like, you had to have that conversation with
right. And then this is the thing. Before I think I first met you, you said this on the T. And so many people, you said this, and I couldn't say nothing because I damn, Vic nailed it. You said it. John is the type of person he gonna tell you what he tell you. You're gonna take it however you want to take it.
Right.
Most people don't stick around John to really realize how I am. Now, if you know me, if you really, male or female, if you really stick around me, you may see, damn, John, you a whole nother damn type dude that I never thought of. But guess what? Most MFers don't stick around to find out because I say some shit you don't want to hear.
That's a fact. So I saw the post. Well, I saw the comments Shrimp 10 had made on the girl post.
Come on with it.
You know what I mean? It was like, okay, then when she posted it, what it was, wide back Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wide back
eat what you want.
Eat what you want. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she posted it as a joke.
She did.
It was a joke.
She did.
And it kind of took a left turn.
We're talking about Tracy White in the comments.
Yeah.
It kind of took a left turn. Like you just said, like if you ask me
After Victor got into it.
No, you answered the left turn more than you. I know I said what I said, but you didn't like it. Go ahead.
Okay, then what y'all said was right, but how y'all delivered it, I felt was wrong. Okay, you know what I mean?
You're right. Okay.
Like women, like you can't go at them like probably like all women. Like how y'all said, like you said, like you don't want no women to be out of shape, sloppy, yada yada yada. But I'm just saying, it's other ways to say that to a woman instead of tearing her down.
But you are right. But what did I just say?
That's what I said.
But see, and I'm not disagreeing with you. But this is the thing about me. If an average woman, if they have a one-on-one conversation with me, seriously, one-on-one, they'll find out me now. I am very honest with myself. That I'll tell you every last one of my shortcomings and faults and everything, and let you decide whether you want to rock out with me. Now, I just said just now, tag ain't my strong suit.
He said that.
I said it.
That's why I brought it up. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I work too, and I said this.
Yeah,
I said this off camera, and I said on camera. I work 2 damn jobs. I try to keep myself in some pretty good damn shape. I try to, you know what I'm saying? So Monday through Friday, my week is like bam, 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 bam. I'm going. Weekend is the only time I get to really put in a good workout like I want to. So what I'm saying is, if I'm your man and I'm paying bills, I'm taking care of the house, I'm doing all this, I'm doing everything a damn good man's supposed to. I'd be goddamn if I want to come home to your wide back, flat back ass. Hell no, I don't. And I'm not.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to say that sweet. I don't know how to say that sweet.
Okay, then.
I don't.
So why
and
not?
I get what you're saying.
So why not? Like, so I'm very self-conscious.
Mhm.
So like, so whoever I'm end up with, I'm not saying they're gonna have to go to the gym 5-6 days a week, but they will live a healthier lifestyle. Understand what I'm saying? Like, I will push that on them.
And I agree.
So, but that's not how that comment came out.
But I don't know how to do that.
Came out of us versus that's your cousin, right?
No.
Okay. So when the comment came at us, well, how do we look compared to our women today? Because we came out. That's why we came back.
It went left.
That's damn right it went left. Because you're gonna come at us and say, well, how do your women look compared to, or how do we look compared to our women today?
But the thing that got me was keep scrolling. If you don't agree with it, keep scrolling. Cause this is her page. So
yeah, but she put a comment out. We it's free game. What's the problem?
Not really. It's not.
I agree with both of y'all on that. I agree with both of y'all. Yeah, you can keep scrolling and keep on going. And I agree with Fatine. Once you put it out there, it's free to everybody to respond. And see, this is the thing about posts. You ain't always gotta agree. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I see what both of y'all are saying. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was serious, but I was dead real at the same damn time. I was dead damn serious.
Like, if that's what you want, like, why wouldn't you push that on your woman to come to the gym with you?
You know,
instead of saying I don't want the wide back.
But see, this is my thing, and I think I said this maybe on the. I think I said this on the T.
And I said I
think I said this on the T. Maybe some months ago, a year ago, whatever. I think I did. I said, me personally, I go to the gym. My woman, whoever my woman may be, she ain't got to be a health nut. I ain't saying that, you know, and I'm not claiming that. I'm not saying that no way, shape, or form. But your big ass got to goddamn get up and do some jumping jacks or something. You got to do something. Something. Sit up, scrunch, something. You got to do something. Walk, power walk. You got to do something. You can't just come home from work, slip on the bonnet, and just put on the goddamn moo and just sit on the chair. That ain't gonna work for me. For me.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say this is because I pray, I hope my wife or my girl, my woman, whoever she may be, I hope she can look at me from years from now and say, Dad, my boo thing, he's sexy. He still look good. He's still preserving himself good. I want to be able to look at her and say she still look good too. I want to be proud of my woman. You know what I'm saying? So this go hand in hand. But yeah, she got to do something. She can't just come home from work and sit down and just start digging in the ice and go, no, hell no.
The delivery that you
but that's the thing. I don't know how to use tag. Now it's like, okay.
Why big help I'll come home from work? You should just say, hey babe.
But you know what? Exactly what he said. I know. But guess what?
Who gonna respond to this?
But you know what? But guess what? And this is the thing. Half of the people on the T and a lot of people don't know me on a personal level. Because if they know the way I talk, they know John is brutal. John is brutal with his words. Now, me, hey girl, you swelling up around here now. I'm country as hell, so they he's swelling up around here now. Hey, thing getting thick back there, but I'm saying it in a good way. Huh?
You see who agree with you over there?
But who? Not Veronica.
No, she right there at the top.
Oh, Tracy, yeah. Tell
And
Tracy.
remember, John, remember when we had that TAT out in Darlington, you and Emily / Erica, y'all went back and forth.
That was Bree. That was Bree. Bree went back and forth.
No, that was Erica. But Bree, I don't remember Bree going with him back and forth, but the bottom line is he was honest and she was honest but he was honest and she was honest. And it was really good conversation. It was really good conversation at the end of the day. But I do understand what Marvin is saying.
Because like you said, she was honest and he was honest, but some women can't take
And
it.
I talk about it after the fact, because at the end of the day, you have to look at it from the perspective, and you may be hurting other people's feelings. You know,
Okay.
so you gotta look at it.
Okay, well, check this out then. But okay, have y'all ever looked at some of the single sites and everything? Let's
Not
keep
in a long time.
Let's keep
Not
it
till
real.
I got a little boy.
No, let's just keep it real. On the single sites, what do they have for the women if the woman is swole up? BBL.
BBW.
Yeah. BBW. Big and beautiful woman. What do they have for the man? Fat, athletic, skinny. So why is it okay for a woman to say, I don't want a short or guy or whatever, or if I don't want this type of guy? But if I say it, oh shit, it's the whole hell, but it's something wrong. All Florence break loose when John said, no, I don't want your white back ass. I don't want you. I don't want you. And I'm not, guess what, Marvin? And boy, I love you like a play cousin. I don't give a damn how I say it. Listen to what I said. I'm not trying to spare no feelings. But I'm not trying to spare the feelings. I'm not trying to spare the feelings. I'm just being honest. Because guess what? It's some women that say, John, I don't want your short ass. I'm 5'7", 220 pounds. I ain't fat, and I ain't in the best shape or whatever, but I'm decent. But there's some women that don't want me. So why is it okay for a woman not to want me, but if I don't want her, oh, hell bust loose. Come on now. People worry about how I say it. But it's the truth.
Hey,
John said that.
It's the truth.
John said that.
Wait a minute, Sammy want to say.
I was getting ready to take that cup.
Sammy, wait, before you get it, Sammy said on the wall, what you had to say?
Hey, I have one blanket question for all the women that's on the podcast today. We guys up here was trying to be honest, tell you why we're single, and y'all said we was only making excuses. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself why you single.
Woo. Man, that's coming from the mayor. Tracy, Tracy, if you want to know what was in my cup. But that ain't nothing to do with it. I'm like this, nothing.
And when John said that, it took me back to experience. It took me to being 17, bro. And my cousin was born down here, and he was in New York. And we dealt, and this is no knock, but we dealt with somebody that was not our preference, and it affected our sexual thing. So you got to realize your preference. The same thing I've heard some women say, yo, I can't deal with a big guy because I ain't want no big guy all on me sweating. And that you have that preference at the end of the day. They do.
I'm not knocking everybody like what I like what I like. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But we're not here to knock our sisters.
Yeah.
We love our sisters.
I'm not knocking.
But we have a preference.
If you ain't sweating and breathing hard after sex, you ain't having sex. Y'all just humping. That's just how I feel.
But I'm not knocking and I'm not discrediting, no woman. I mean, you want who you want. I know some dudes, they like them big, some dudes like them tall. Every man like what they like. I ain't knocking no man for what they like. I'm not discrediting, but I'm just saying what I don't have to have. Women got a choice of what they don't have to deal with. Well, why I got to deal with it? You know what I'm saying? And I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And but I don't know how to say it sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's like it goes back. It goes back. And any man, and there's a lot of dudes, like I ain't gonna say a lot. There's a couple of dudes that inbox me and they may want some sound advice or just want to talk. And I usually say, hey, let's just say it's you. I'm just using for example. You hit me up, John, this, that. Huh. Marvin, you might not want to hear this. I'm prepping you now. I'm prepping you for it now. Get ready. Get ready. Because when I say that, Marvin, you might not want to hear this. For Teen, you might not want to hear this.
See, but with
I'm
that
about to
is,
shoot it to you
like
now.
the level I have, the level of respect I have for everybody up here.
Mm-hmm.
You won't have to say you might not want to hear this. Like you just gonna give it to me straight.
Yeah.
And I want to respect that. But like everybody ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah,
But see, that was with me. And I guess this is why we go back to why John don't open up. Because I know me, I shoot it straight from the damn hill. And a lot of damn people can't take it. I can't even be friends with sensitive people. If you sensitive, we can't be damn it friends. Let's just get that out the way. Because I'm not gonna go around my words. I'm not gonna dance and sprinkle flavor and sugar on my words to be friend. I don't know how to do that because I grew up in 1974. Come up through the years, and we said it. You was able to deal with it, and if you knew my parents or my family, father side or my mother side, it was raw. It was raw.
Me and my friends, like we check each other. Victim been around, he and like it's no filter.
Right, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Like, so we had that amount of respect for each other. Like, like, it's like nobody give it to me straight. Like if Mark doing something out of pocket,
yeah, get it to him
tell
straight.
me.
So I'm just read this from Veronica comment real quick. Veronica says, Mr. Sammy, don't be around these knuckleheads, right? She may be playing or not. And then Carol
Where that?
McNeil,
I don't see it.
Wait, hold on, go back to that point. And then Carol McNeil says, be nice, Mr. Sammy. And see, one of the things that we know as men, what Mr. Sammy he said up here, and Victor was giving him the bell, we all agree with. It's just that at the end of the day, we think we different individuals, but we understand that thread from us being all men. We understand that. Just like being black men, we understand being black men. We have our own different opinions on certain things, but we still understand that. So it's not Mr. Sammy changing. Mr. Sammy is who he is, and we understand that conversation because you know what? Because Mr. Sammy is in us, and we are in Mr. Sammy because we understand that common thread.
But the question I asked was a legit question.
Yeah,
It was. I wasn't throwing shade or nothing. It was
Damn right he
legit.
wasn't.
No.
So I want the comment. I tell a lot of women this: don't focus on how I'm saying it. Focus on what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Focus on what I'm saying. So, Yoshi giving me the 3. So let's give our final comments, man, and then we're gonna try to end it. I don't want to say wrap it up because, like you said, I ain't wrapping the damn thing.
You ain't rapping that. No.
I don't even. I tell them to make my burger, and I go back there and grab it off the grill. Don't put my shit in no
You
wrap.
ain't rapping that loom
No, I ain't don't even put it in that. I want Miss Sammy cook out with the food in my hand.
God damn.
I guess we'll go back this way then.
I think this is a beautiful thing. We as men, black men, we need more of this. I think this was a wonderful thing. It allowed me to share personal things publicly, or like what I said with my family, my daddy, with my mom and daddy when they was married, that I never talked about in my life.
Yeah.
So, we definitely need more of this publicly and privately. Yeah, and I'll be the first one to say, I'm talking to myself too. We definitely need to be able to open up to someone.
Yeah.
So I'll just go ahead and end with that.
I enjoy sharing part of my birthday with these 4 guys on the set today. And for all the women and the men out there, don't take anything that I say personal.
Now you say that. Now you say that.
I'm gonna say this. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, whether we on camera, off camera, texting, phone calls, talking to each and every one of you on this stage, and to the friends that's out there on Facebook. But I stand on what I say.
Exactly.
People always want to label men as something. I had on a shirt yesterday that said narcissist on the front of it, and with the definition on the front for these knucklehead ass women when they knew 22, 23 word that they're holding on to, for you to know what the definition is. But I would say this: realize just because we don't fit your criteria of a good man, just leave us alone.
All right. Preach on.
I want to thank Marvin. I want to thank John. I want to thank Mr. Sammy. But I want to take a moment, honestly, to thank Brother Victor, for having this vision to do this. Really, bro, we needed this. We really did need this, and I think it has helped all of us. I think it's helped our viewers, but helped us as brothers and as men to deal with these issues. I think this was a good topic. I mean, we didn't stay totally on the health thing, but I think it is a good, healthy way of conversating to release, understand, and communicate. So I really enjoy this platform.
Yeah, I want to say this is kind of like what happens in the barbershops
Yeah,
and cookouts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where you with your guys at the bar, like these type of conversations. Like John said, like we need more of these type of conversations, and don't be afraid of the hard topics. I just appreciate you Vic, giving us the platform.
Oh yeah. So with that being said, this was the male table talk. Was it our fourth one, right?
Yes, sir.
Our fourth one. We might let a little things kind of ease for a minute before we come back with another one. But to be honest with you, Veronica is she's got the wheels working on the Tangy Tea, and we're going to come to y'all with something a little different next time. So I want to thank everybody for watching us. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
No bonus notes.
Wash
Buenas
your, wash,
noches.